like it. It's so much smoother. I like the whole gear shifting, and I don't know, it feels a lot quieter too. It doesn't feel as loud and obnoxious as Gray Baby. It's just a weird feeling because I feel even bigger up top though. I feel like I can't even, I thought I could be able to see over Gray Baby and now I can't. I feel very just self-conscious of like I turned that turn just like way too wide, so I had to back up, and same with this. It's like, all right, it's like parking, we're gonna be parking so far in Booney Land. If I have to drive, it's gonna be sad. It's like, how are you even gonna drive this thing with the momentum? But it's like smooth. I love this gear shift thing though. Best. It's so smooth to go up and down. You don't have to fight it like we did with the other one. I don't know, for me it seems quieter. I like it. It's very comfortable.
Well, we're pretty excited about this new truck. I know I am. Christy, yeah, you know, it's just a truck for her. Now, it's very similar to the last truck that we had, which was a 3500 as well. This is the dually version, so it's essentially the same truck, but not really, because this is a 2025 as opposed to the 2024. And they made some huge, major enhancements. First of all, it's a brand new engine. The transmission is also brand new. It's an 8-speed transmission as opposed to the 6-speed. For the most part, things are pretty much the same. The display is, the last one was a 12-inch display. This is a 14-inch display, so it's a little bit bigger. And really, there's not much difference from it. As far as being bigger, though, the only difference is, the reason why it's bigger, I guess, is the lower portion of it has soft keys instead of actual push buttons. But they're not programmable or anything. They're the same buttons that you would have had as physical buttons, but they're now soft keys. And that's what takes up the extra space. So you don't really gain any extra screen space. It's just now that you have soft keys instead of actual buttons. Now, I don't know if that's a good thing or not. I mean, you know, electronics can go wrong. And if something goes wrong with this display, I no longer have access to those, be able to push those buttons that I need. And they're kind of important buttons. Tow haul, the exhaust brake system, you know, I use those all the time. I always use the exhaust brake, even if I'm just driving around town. That's like the first thing I do. When I turn the truck on, I immediately turn exhaust brake on because I love having that thing. Of course, you have the transmission here as far as 4-wheel drive, 4 high, 4 low, neutral, things like that. So it's very easily accessible to switch between 2-wheel drive and 4-wheel drive. This is your trailer brake controller, is right here, very easily accessible. And if you apply brakes, there's the trailer brakes. This is that trailer steering that you, when you're hooked up to a trailer, you can turn this on, and if you want the trailer to back left or right, and I guess if you push that, it'll recenter it. Maybe I'll go out to a parking lot sometime with the trailer and just to practice it and see. But I'm really almost positive I'll probably never use that feature. I do have the airbags installed on this, so you can change the trailer height. If you push that, the truck will lower down when it's got the trailer hooked up to it. If nothing's hooked up to it, because I was, when I first did it on the other truck, I was like, nothing's working. You know, you hit that and it does nothing. The truck doesn't move up or down. It says that it's changing, but it doesn't. You actually have to have weight on the truck for it to do anything. One thing that I really do like about these is the digital mirror. So see, if I flip this mirror, it goes into a digital mode, and you can have, it's just a camera that's on the back there. Or if you switch it here, you have a split view, and that's actually getting its picture from cameras in the mirror. These cameras here, it's getting, this is where, if you notice, when see, I can cover it up. So that's kind of cool because when I'm towing, I get a view behind me and it makes the trailer just like a skinny little thing instead of blocking the whole view. So I can actually pretty much see behind me. Now I do have the tow mode camera that I need to install on the back of the RV, and then there's a plug for it. And that will give a third view here in the middle of this mirror, and that'll give me directly behind the RV as well as the two sides. So I'll have like a 3-view split view, so down the sides plus directly behind the RV. And so I'm looking forward to getting that installed.
And another set of cameras lets you see down the side during lane changes while towing a trailer.
Of course, one of the new features that we have here is a sunroof. When I ordered the last truck before, I specifically did not order a sunroof because I didn't think I wanted a sunroof. And then when we needed to order this new truck, I'm like, you know, I started thinking about it. I was like, I really want a sunroof. This button here, this will open the tailgate. So you hit that and the tailgate will pop down. Of course, it has, there's no key involved. It's just a key fob. So that's the start button there. Now this, I'm glad that they didn't switch. I guess they earlier switched to a knob to change the gears, and they went back to an actual shifter on the column, which I love. Now this is digital. It's a digital shifter still, so I'm telling you, it feels really smooth, really easy. There's no mechanics involved in it, even though, I mean, it pulls up and down. It's not actually mechanically changing anything. It's still a digital shifter. And so it feels really, really light and smooth and buttery. And I like that. The little knob that was just stupid. So I'm glad that they didn't do that. And now I had a shifter on the old truck, and it instead of a knob. So I never had to deal with a knob. We rented a truck one time that had a knob, and I thought it was so dumb. And I'm glad that I never had to own one that has a knob. So you have cup holders here, and you got some storage here. It's not real huge, but you open this up, and you can see I got my donuts here. There's a place for some change here. This actually slides forward and backwards, so you have a bigger area here if you need it. Problem is, if you close that, you don't really have access to your cup holders when that's all the way back. So we usually travel with it like that. So we have some space here, and of course stuff always ends up getting behind, like what you see here. This can slide all the way forward, and you have access here for some more space. Gives you a little little conversion charts, I guess, in case you don't know how to do something. You can, I don't know. Does anybody ever really use those kinds of things? I don't know. The seats are, I do like the seats in the interior. The last truck was black. I hated black. I hated the black interior. Absolutely hated it. And so, but that was the only option when we ordered that truck. And for 2025, they brought the brown back, which I'm glad, so glad. Brown and tan. And so the interior is, instead of black, everything is a nice brown. And the seats are a light color. And they're leather, except what I don't like is they do added a little bit of cloth. There's, as you can see, there's some cloth here. I actually hate that. I liked it when in our 2019 2500, all the whole seat, everything was all leather, and so it was much easier to clean, wipe, clean, and use some leather conditioner on it and stuff. Now you got to deal with this cloth. I don't know. Having kids, things are going to get messy, and having cloth back there, because there's cloth in the back seats too. Here's the back seat. You can see some cloth here. Why they got to put cloth in there, I don't understand. 2 more cup holders right here on the back of the console. So there's 2 here, there's 2 here, and then there's 2 here for the back seats. Speaking of the back seats, we do have we have booster seat for the kid. We have the car seat for the baby. But in the middle here, so this comes down, and you have 2 more cup holders here. So there's plenty of cup holders in this truck. I mean, it's got 8 cup holders, and it can only seat 5 people. So there's more than enough cup holders. Now this seat flips up. Under here you got some storage. This is usually where I'll keep all my tie down straps and things like that. The other side, the whole, so it's like a 60-40 bench seat here. The other side flips up as well, but there is no storage under there because I have the enhanced stereo system. It's got a subwoofer and everything taking up that storage space. So there is no storage on the other side, just on this side. I did go ahead and get the tonneau cover installed, so I like having that. That's really nice having this thing. However, it looks like I accidentally left the strap sticking out, so I guess I'm gonna have to take that off and redo it. One of the nice features is there is a cigarette lighter type adapter up here, and so I'm able to have all my my GPS and stuff and plugged in. The only thing I wish it was is I wish it was tied to the key. So if you turn the key off, I wish it would kill power to this. This is constantly on. So even though you turn your truck off, I still have to unplug it. Otherwise, the GPS and my rear view cameras that I have on the RV, they stay on the whole time if you don't unplug it from there. So I wish that was keyed, but it's not. So there are you have two glove boxes. You have the main glove box here, and then up here you've got this little push button opens up, and there's a smaller glove box there. So you got two different storage compartments here.
Our last truck had this one and the button, so it's really not that different. There's just a few different touches to it, but it's really just the same.
This panel here has changed a little bit since the 2024 model. It's mostly the same, but they kind of changed this here. This is where the mirrors. Now, one problem that I am having is this button is a little bit sticky, and they're supposed to be fixing that for me. As you can see, it's kind of, I have to push it back up. So hopefully they'll get that fixed for me. This is your settings for your seats. So you set your seat positions the way you want. You can set your steering wheel. You can set your brake however you want. And your mirrors, get them exactly how you want. And then you hit save, and then you have two different settings, one or two. So when you get back in your truck, you just hit whatever button you are, and it'll automatically return to those settings. It's also attached to your key fob. So if you each, like I have a fob, my wife has a fob, and it's the settings are set to that. So if I'm using my fob, it automatically will set those things. You don't even really have to push the button because it knows the setting because you're using the fob. So that's kind of a cool feature. And of course, the whole point of the new truck is the dual rear wheels here. We have a huge RV, and so I needed the extra cargo carrying capacity of the dually, so that's what we have. One thing I have to get used to is the how to fill these things, check the tire pressures, things like that. And it does have TPMS, so I don't really need to check it all the time, but I don't know, I'm new to dually, so I'm not sure how it works, but the valve stems point in. That makes it a little bit difficult to be able to check and to fill your tires. And then the rear one is like way in there. I don't know if you can even see that, but it's way in there. And that's gonna make it difficult with my little tire inflator to get in there, because the hose you have to stick in, screw it on. Now, if I had a regular air compressor I can use one of those long chucks and just stick it in there, and that's really what it's designed to be able to do. What I can do is get they make extensions that you can screw on there, and it will make it stick out, so it'll make it more easily accessible. And they make like 90 degrees or 120 degree or whatever things that come around and bring it back out this way. So I may look into that just to make it easier to fill tires when I need to. But the dually, that's the whole point of the truck, of the new truck, is having the dually. So that's what we're excited about, not having to worry about our weight capacity. This bed step here, this is really nice, really handy. The bed has the soft lowering, and then the bed step here allows you to just climb up, no problem. It does have interior lights here. I like having these bed lights, and then the connections. Fifth wheel, this is for auxiliary. There's also another outlet here for with a part of the 400 watt system, 400 watt inverter system. But that one Last time I tried using it on my other truck and I couldn't figure out, there was like no power going to it. And it turns out you have to turn it on. There's a switch inside the truck. Now, as far as connections go, back here, you've got in the bed of the truck and on the back of the truck here, you've got here's the 7-pin connector. And then this is the auxiliary. Now this, the last truck that I had, and it came with trailer surround cameras to mount, came with 4 cameras to mount all the way around the trailer. And it would plug into this 12-pin connector here. And I was hoping, see that it wasn't an option to get that with this new truck. And I was hoping that it would have the connections. And I still have all my cameras. I never installed them on the RV, but I'd like to. And so I'm happy to see that it has a connection. The only thing I'm concerned about is it's not an option in the system, in the Uconnect system. So I'm hoping that maybe it's just a matter of getting that turned on, programming it and getting it turned on so I can still utilize those cameras, because I would really like to use those cameras. And then this is the connection here, which they do not have one of these in the back of the bed. I don't know why they don't just have one of these back there as well, but this is a connection here. This is where the that digital tow mode camera that gets mounted to the back of the RV. That's where it plugs in. So everything's going to be plugged into the back of the truck with the 5th wheel, except for that digital tow mode camera. When I install that, it's going to have to plug in down here on the bumper. So I don't know why they didn't add one in the bed of the truck, but they didn't. And one thing that I really miss on the old truck is we had the wheel-to-wheel steps. And that was nice because the steps went all the way down, all the way to here. So if you wanted to access the bed of the truck, you had the step to step onto. Well, because of the fact that it's a dually and it's got the wide hips that stick out, obviously that can't happen with on this truck. So that I'm gonna miss that. I'm gonna miss having the step going all the way back. It's one of those things you have to give up when you have a dually. And also this one has the automatic step that retractable step. And one thing we noticed on this right off the bat is it definitely doesn't feel as sturdy. I mean, it's got some give to it, just because the way it's mounted and it's on it retracts. So, I mean, I'm sure it's fine, but it just doesn't feel as solid and as sturdy as what we had on the other one. But all right, so that's the new truck, and we're excited to use it. We haven't towed with it yet. In fact, our first tow will be just going from Sunshine Key up to Fiesta Key, which is only about 40 miles. Or not even 40 miles, about 40 minutes. It's about 20 miles. So we're not going to really get a good tow on it for another few weeks. But we're excited. We're happy that we finally are not going to have to worry about that payload capacity anymore, having the dually. Because I was a little bit worried. But I'll be interesting to see when we go through. We'll stop at a cat scale at some point, and I'll film that and show you what our weights are as far as the RV and the truck and all the numbers. We'll crunch those and make sure that we're well within our limits, which now that we have the dually, I know we will be. We were skirting those limits before, but having this new truck. Oh, by the way, speaking of this new truck, you know, we always give our vehicles names, right? So you know that we had our very first RV was Abigail, our very first truck was Gray Baby, and then we got the Influence 5th wheel that became Florence, or Flo. We called her Flo. And the new truck at that time was still gray, so we still called it Gray Baby, like Gray Baby 2.0. And this new RV here is Molly the Momentum. And the new name for our new truck, what's the new name for our new truck?
I forget.
You forget? You forget? It's kind of like Molly, rhymes with Molly.
Dolly Snow.
Dolly the dually.
But that's Snow.
And Dolly Snow because she's white. So that's the name that we've christened her. So we have Molly and Dolly. I know. But I think Reagan's the one that came up with that name for the new truck. So it's kind of works out, you know, Dolly the Dually, and so that's her name, and we're really loving it. So we're excited to start our journeys in this brand new 2025 Ram 3500 dual rear wheel. All right, hey, thanks a lot for watching, and we'll see you on the next adventure.